Lately, oh, give me my said winter time is getting crazy. Niggas dying, mama's crying, that's my baby. All I hear is cop sirens lately.
Good evening. Good evening, good evening, good evening. Thank you for joining us on the WillPower UnSurfaced podcast here at Glockaware Internet Radio Station. So thank you for tuning in tonight.
Yes, thank you for tuning in. Hello, hello, hello. It's WillPower UnSurfaced, and today is Monday, March 15th. And yesterday started daylight savings time. What you think about daylight savings time?
It sucked, man. I woke up. It started Saturday night, right?
No, it went Sunday morning.
Okay, so I woke up. I felt like I overslept. It was darn near 9 o'clock when I woke up. Heck, what happened? Like, with this burst of sunlight, like, what is going on? Heck, what time is it? Like, right. I was really messed up. I need my hour back. Even this morning, like my schedule, my nighttime scheduling is off because I woke up and I'm like, I woke up maybe about midnight, 1 o'clock, and I didn't doze back off till about 3:30 this morning. And then when I woke up, it was 8:30. So it's just really affecting my body. It's had a hard time adjusting to this.
I know. I'm not really feeling that daylight savings time too much. I don't know. Not me. I'd rather have more nighttime so I can sleep longer.
That too. That's why I like the fall, because I need my hour back. But you know what? I think it's a good thing because you wake up and you feel like you get this burst of energy, like I'm ready to tackle the day. You know, so I'm gung ho. So I think daylight savings time lightens your mood. I really do. I think it plays a big part on your psyche. Me personally, that's what I think. So,
I guess. But you know, places like Arizona don't even do daylight savings time. Did you know Arizona don't? And Hawaii,
yeah, they don't do it. Yeah,
they don't do daylight savings time. So but I don't know. How can you change how time is supposed to be?
I don't understand that either.
I don't know. They always trying to control everything. They're gonna control time too. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. But I would like to start with that since we do have an extra hour. And it is 6:01, and it is still light outside, so it does kind of feel good to have a little bit light, a little longer. I just don't like it in the morning.
Yeah, in the morning,
I don't like it in the morning.
It's not good in the morning.
I don't like that.
You know, I guess it's motivation to get up and get moving, get some exercise in, or something.
What it's about.
That's okay.
That's okay. Go ahead, mate.
You get some exercise and get something done. I don't know what, but, just get up and move something. Like I said, you'll wake up and you feel refreshed. You feel like, wow, I got some good sleep in. If, as for me, my pattern is off. I have to get it in the way. I have to get it right.
Right.
I have to get it right because this isn't working. Like I said, yesterday I felt like I overslept. Today, this is not. Woosah dawn.
Yes.
I went outside and I did not want to go outside. And then I also think, with the daylight savings times, it's just like, oh, God. It gives folks an extra hour to act like, animals, an extra hour for the niggerment to go on, which the niggerment is going on at daylight, nighttime, whatever. It's still going on. The niggerment is just, it's outlandish, it's ridiculous. So it's not helping. The springtime and the summer, and we're already at 200 murders, and we're just 2.5 months in. Like, come on.
Yes. So I did have some stuff on my little raggedy laptop here, but it seems as though, as soon as I get a little extra dough, that's what I'm going to have to get. Ain't there some stuff?
Spend your stimulus wisely.
I'm going to have to spend mine wisely on a laptop.
Save some of it. Save some of it, please.
Some BS.
And then if you're not good with money and, school year is coming, put some money on a gift card or a Visa gift card that you can get your kids some uniforms and stuff when the school time comes.
Yes.
And if they want to play sports, that you can get them involved. You'll have the fees that you need. You'll have the fees and stuff that you need. So just, spend it wisely. And if you blow your income tax, then you blow your income tax. But the thing is that you're prepared. Be prepared. Have a plan for your money. Have a plan for your money.
And if you're anything like me, you'll be appreciative of the stimulus because I was considered a higher tax bracket, so income tax was not, in it. I didn't get that gift this year. That usually be my holiday money, but So I got it all through the year from working more hours. So that's the end of the big lump sum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for a little whatever it is. You know what I mean?
I haven't filed my taxes yet, and I'm hoping they send me a stimulus. They better send me one.
They're gonna send
I didn't
you
get the last one. I didn't get the last one. I must have been caught up in the mix. So I'm gonna have to claim that on my taxes to try to get my money back, because they didn't send it to me. I didn't get it. I was one of the people that didn't get it for some reason. I don't know. I didn't even investigate it. I was like, all right, whatever.
They were talking about that too. Some people who didn't get it got letters.
I didn't even get a letter. They didn't say anything. I need to talk to my tax person.
Yeah, you gotta find out, because this tax person, sometimes you go through, if they did your direct deposit through their thing, your stimulus may have went to them.
No.
Because I seen a young lady on Facebook yesterday. She was like, the lady who did my taxes deleted her Facebook and Instagram profiles. I was like, wow. Wow, right.
But she did something shady.
Yeah, she did some shady.
Some shady. Some
scam
artists. Y'all be careful who you giving your social numbers, social security numbers and stuff to, because, it's all this money floating around, and the scams is going around now.
It's a whole bunch
Scam
of them,
likely.
Scam likely always on the phone. It's always on the phone. But today, we wanted to talk about our topic for today.
Addictions.
And our topic for today and for next week, we'll be talking about addictions. And not that me and Dawn personally have suffered from addictions, but we all know people who have suffered from addiction, and it hits close to home for me. That's a subject that hits real close home for me. So today we'll have a young lady named Miss Michelle. She has a program called Why Not Prosper, where she takes in young ladies that come home from jail, and also people who are suffering from addiction, and she houses them, and she helps them get their lives back in order after suffering with their addictions. And she'll be joining us today for our Zoom at 5:20, and she'll be talking to us about her program, how she, what she sees with the pandemic. The heightened of addiction during the pandemic. Was it any change from what she was already seeing? And how she helps these young ladies during their recovery, what she does to help them get back on track. So that will be our topic for today. We'll be talking about addiction. Also, after Miss Michelle is off the air, then I'll have my own daughter. She will be coming on, and she was a substance abuser, and she is in recovery right now, and she is at the Why Not Prosper facility, and she's going to talk about her experiences with opioids. So today we'll have her talking about her personal experience, and we'll also have a little talk with Miss Michelle and her background and how she got her program started. She actually celebrated 20 years for her program. About 2 weeks ago, she celebrated 20 years.
That's awesome.
She's not state funded, so everything that she does from the muscle. Mm-hmm. So we're going to have her on. We're going to have Nigel on. We're going to have both of them talk about the opioid pandemic and, give us their input on how things are. Mm-hmm. I know from my personal experiences from dealing with my daughter, and also from seeing a lot of other young people dealing with Percocet addiction, and other opiates like OxyContin, and even heroin addictions. It's a hard drug to get off of. It's hard for these people out here to get off of these opioids. And then they have the methadone programs, and they have the Suboxone programs also, to help people in their recovery. Mm-hmm. So we'll also talk with them about the differences between the Suboxone.
Because I had no idea. I'd never heard of that one.
Yes, now Suboxone actually is a better drug when helping with addiction. It doesn't have the same side effects as the methadone.
Okay.
And with the methadone, it's a little harder for people to get off.
Okay.
And what I've noticed from my own personal experience, being around people who are actually using methadone and going to the methadone clinic, they have to get weaned off at certain doses and things like that. But a lot of times people are going to these methadone clinics for 10, 15, 20 years. They never get weaned off. Yeah. It's like a continuous battle with them being on methadone. You know what I'm saying? And not, actually weaning themselves off cold turkey from drugs, which I understand from methadone is very hard to just take yourself off of the methadone. But from what I noticed with my own daughter when she was in the program, I didn't feel that they were really trying to wean her off of the methadone. You know what I'm saying? She actually was pregnant when she was going through the methadone program. And she didn't want to use, the methadone, but they kept her on the methadone through her whole pregnancy. And they were saying that because of the baby and because she was using at the time, that it probably would be best for her to stay on. But once she had the baby, she actually cold turkey herself off of methadone.
Oh, that's good.
Now, she still was using the opioids,
Right.
but she weaned herself off of the methadone cold turkey. Okay. And she also weaned herself off of the pills cold turkey as well.
Okay.
Because when we went to get her into a program, she wasn't dirty anymore because she had cleaned herself out through the weekend. She had, and so when we wanted to go put her in a program, they actually would not accept her because she did not have drugs in her system, which I couldn't understand because here's a person who wants to be clean.
Right.
We bring her here for help, and you say she needs to go get high in order for her to come back.
It's always
into a program. You know what I mean? So, and my thing is when you have someone who feels like they're ready to get off drugs, there should be no deterrent in the way.
Exactly.
If a person comes to you, because I don't think people are just going to go to a rehab and say, put me in a rehab, I really wasn't using drugs. You know what I'm saying? I just want to come here for whatever. You understand what I'm saying? I feel that if a person is coming into a rehabilitation or they want rehab and they go to a state-funded facility, they should not be turned away because they don't have drugs in their system.
I agree with that.
You understand what I'm saying? Because now you're sending someone back out there who found it in themselves to step away cold turkey from something that they may have been using for years, and now they decide that they don't want to do this anymore. And then you take them to a facility and they say, oh, well, you're not high right now. We can't take you. You know what I mean? And I think that does not help with the opioid problems in our city. You understand what I'm saying? When you have people who are discouraged from going into facilities because they may have took a step and said, I'm not going to get high this weekend. I'm going to clean myself out and I want to go get help. And then you're clean yourself out and they tell you, you're too clean to get clean. Right. You understand? Because that's how I see it. Like, you're too clean to get clean, And that was what had happened with my daughter. She wanted to get clean, and she stayed home. She didn't use. She stayed with me for the weekend. And when we took her to the facility, they wouldn't keep her there because she didn't have drugs. And it was by the grace of God that we found Why Not Prosper, because we had just been riding around. And, Rafiq knew someone, and we rolled past the place, and the lady usually don't take people off the street. You know what I'm saying? And we had her in the car with us, and we went there, and we told Miss Michelle what was going on, and it was just a good thing that Naja did not have anything in her system, because, they don't take them then. They wait until after you detox, and, we had to pay out of pocket, but it was worth it for me to save my daughter. It was worth it for me to pay out of pocket. And thank God that it wasn't one of those facilities that I called that was $10,000, because I called quite a few places. They want $10,000, $15,000 to help people with recovery. And the good places don't accept those state-funded insurances. So if you're on state-funded insurance and you're trying to get clean, you may have to go on a waiting list. Like, who has time to wait to save their lives? Who has time to wait? Yeah, so that's going to be our topic for today, opioid addiction. We're going to have Miss Michelle come on. She's going to zoom in on it for us at 6:20. And we're going to talk about this topic. It's very, close to me. I've been through so many things with so many different family members. Right. Through their addictions, and it's always touched home for me. And I know for me personally, because I've seen so many people in my family go through addiction, I was always afraid, And,
addiction has hit 90% of households, families, in some way, shape, or form. Now, if it has not hit your family, Thank God. But for a lot of us, especially in the inner city, it's been a major problem for many years. Addiction. And I'm going to give you some definition. Let's go with the definition of addiction. The fact or condition of being addicted to a particular substance, thing, or activity. What is addiction? Addiction, according to psychiatry.org, addiction is a complex condition, a brain disease that is manifested by compulsive substance use despite harmful consequences. I'm going to read that again. Addiction is a complex condition, a brain disease, again, a brain disease that is manifested by compulsive substance use despite harmful consequences. So here we are. Here's another one. Medical news today. Addiction. The definition, symptoms, withdrawal, and treatment. Addiction is a disease in which a person finds themselves unable to stop using a substance or engaging in a behavior. One second. Where'd it go? I hate that.
Yeah, because I had like a whole thing, up here on my laptop that decides that it's not going to work. And I said, I'm going to bring this laptop in here so I don't have to be digging in my phone for information.
Okay, here it is. Addiction is a psychological and physical inability to stop consuming a chemical, drug, activity, or substance, even though it is causing psychological and physical harm. The term addiction does not refer to dependence on substance such as heroin or cocaine. A person who cannot stop taking a particular drug or chemical has a substance dependence. Some addictions also involve an inability to stop partaking in activities such as gambling, eating, or working. In these circumstances, a person has a behavioral addiction. Addiction is a chronic disease that can also result from taking medications. The overuse of prescribed opioid painkillers, for example, causes 115 deaths every day in the United States. When a person experiences addiction, they cannot control how they use a substance or partake in an activity, and they become dependent on it to cope with daily life. Every year, addiction to alcohol, tobacco, illicit drugs, and prescription opioids cost the U.S. economy upward of $740 billion in treatment costs, lost work, and effects of crime. Most people start using a drug or first engage in an activity voluntarily. However, addiction can take over and reduce self-control.
Yes. So addiction is an overuse of substance, and many people, like Dawn said, are addicted to prescription drugs that are prescribed by doctors. And there's no difference between an addiction from a prescription drug to addiction to crack, besides the substance itself. The way that it's being used and the reason that it's being used, they all have the same. It's all basic boils down to the same reason. Exactly. But we're going to take a break. We're going to be going for about 2 minutes. We're going to get ourselves together to have our Zoom guest on, Miss Michelle from Why Not Prosper. So, Toucan, you can take us to our break, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
Got silence lately, oh, give me my Said wintertime is getting crazy. Niggas dying, mama's crying, that's my baby. All I hear is cop sirens lately, and I know that I can't let them get to me at all. I was down and had no one I could call. I remember they put my back to the wall, but I still give it my all. Yeah, I still give it my all.
Niggas report you gram off of envy. I done turned feline to Fendi, it was in me. It's like my whole city crazy. Niggas blocking bullets with they babies. All my niggas in jail think I duck them and said fuck them. I'm just trying to make sure they don't come home to nothing. If it's up to me, they not. I'm screaming freedom and making doo-wah for K-Dot. We was childhood friends, now they ops. Trapped in the hood, I see no way out. It was supposed to be a kid, didn't weigh out. Now you gotta kill a nigga, how it play out, play out, play out.
Said wintertime is getting crazy. Niggas dying, mama's crying, that's my my baby. All I hear is cop sirens lately, and I know that I can't let them get to me at all. I was down and had no one I could call. I remember they put my back to the wall, but I still give it my all. Yeah, I still give it my all.
Goddamn, mama, I miss you. Wish every day that I could kiss you. I see your face every time I see my sister. If I could just hear your voice, just a whisper. Niggas dropping fast like the dash on the Fisker. As a youngin', I learned fast, I was a listener. Wish you could see me killing Jews like I'm Hitler. Play with me, I'm wishing you don't. Bryson Tiller. I grew up with the lions and gorillas. Whoever thought selling dimes would get you a villa? They used to bully him, now he a killer. He used to get straight A's, now he a dealer.
Said wintertime is getting crazy. Niggas dying, mama's crying, that's my baby. All I hear is cop sirens lately, and I know that I can't let them get to me at all. I was down and had no one I could call. I remember they put my back to the wall, but I still give it my all. Yeah, I still give it my all. I hear cop sirens lately.
What it's about,
Okay.
what you represent.
I'm Ramona Africa, Minister of Communication for the MOVE organization. I am the sole adult survivor of the May 13th.
Thank you for being patient and being on and waiting for us to come back from our break. So we're going to have Miss Michelle. She's going to be calling in for all of our WillPower UnSurfaced viewers who are on Facebook. If you would like to see the interview with Miss Michelle, would you please log on to our YouTube page, YouTube to the Glockaware Radio on YouTube, and we are on there live, and you'll get to see Miss Michelle on the Zoom because you won't be able to see it from my.
If you're interested in watching and hearing and for visual, if you would like to see Miss Michelle as she comes on, please go to Glockaware Radio's YouTube page and look for WillPower UnSurfaced, and you'll be able to watch her because she's going to zoom in, okay? Because the only thing you'll hear right now, you'll hear her. You won't see her.
And here she is. Hi, Miss Michelle. Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Miss Michelle. Welcome.
Roddy, I can hear y'all.
How are you today?
Good.
First-
Rushing, but I'm here.
So first of all, I want to thank you so much. I want to thank you personally for helping my daughter in her situation, and I want to thank Why Not Prosper for being there when my family needed you personally. But before I go on, I would like you to introduce yourself.
Okay, hi everybody. Thank you for having me. My name is Reverend Michelle Simmons, and I'm the founder and executive director for Why Not Prosper, which is a house for formerly incarcerated women transitioning back into the community.
Okay, Miss Michelle. So I explained to the audience that you just celebrated your 20th anniversary, and so congratulations on that. Congratulations for being in this business for 20 years. Our spotlight topic today is opioids. And I know that you also, a lot of the women that are transitioning into your program are also opioid, in opioid recovery and then recovery from opioid addiction. Can you tell me exactly how just tell me a little bit how you got started and what exactly do you do for the women when they're coming out of their addictions?
Okay, you got it. Thank you. So basically, Why Not Prosper is a transitional house. And how I got started was, I was molested at an early age, right? And I never told nobody. Like from the time I was 12 to I was 27, I was in relationship with my father. And so when this first happened, I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't know who to tell. So I kept and I stay high every day, okay? And me getting high led me then to go to jail because I had to find the means to get more. And then what happened was in 2000, I got the green light to come back to Pennsylvania. My addiction had took me from Pennsylvania to Los Angeles. So I actually got clean in Los Angeles in South Central. But in 2000, God said enough was enough. And he gave me the green light to come home, and I had got clean. And so I really didn't have a vision to do Why Not Prosper. I didn't have a vision for my life, period. But what I wanted was to get my kids back out the system, and I wanted to get out of pain. And so I got home and I found this church, and I started going to church. And then I went to court and asked to try to get my kids back out the system. And the judge said, you got to find a place. So I went back to that church I had, made acquaintance with. And I said, Pastor, pray for me. I got to get my kids back. And he said, well, we got a house next door. Maybe you could rent that. And it was that day on August 28th for 2000. And in 2000, that God gave me the vision to open up this house. So it really was like God's doing. It was a vision he gave me. And I heard it so clear. He was like, open up a house for women come home from jail on drugs. And I was like, Pastor. And he was like, well, go write it down. And yup, this year is our 20th year anniversary. And so basically what I do for the women coming to Why Not Prosper is I try to set a new foundation for them. A lot of them had the same background I had, meaning addiction, incarceration, abandonment, whatever the case may be, which is foster us into drug use, right? And so what we try to do is just make sure the women feel safe when they get there. First, we check them out, see medically, are they clear? Do they need anything? Then psychiatric, are you hearing voices? Are you stable? You're bipolar, under control, whatever. Right, and we deal with that. And then third, we deal with the substance use, right? We have them make a commitment to stay clean. And so once they do that, we set them up with a case manager, a therapist. They have to take groups. They have to do outpatient. And so those are some of the foundational things that we do at Why Not Prosper. We're considered transitional housing. So the ladies pay $400 a month to be there, and all of this is it's like a dress rehearsal for what they get ready to deal with on their own after the crutches are gone from under their arms. So I probably could talk all day about Why Not Prosper, but basically what we do is love on them till they learn to love themselves, give them the support and the resources so they could be contributing, responsible members of the community.
Yes.
Awesome. I have a question. How long is the average person stay? I know each person is different. Each case is different, but is it a 3-month stay, 6 months?
It's the liver stay right now is currently 6 months to a year. What we found is the longer the women stay, the more sturdy their foundation is. Don't get a job after 90 days. They breasts get big, they butt get big, they feel like they got it together, they ready to go. But if we know these opioids ain't no joke, right? And they doormat waiting for a bad day for them to say, hey, take one of me, or hey, shoot me in your arm. So I put a lot of effort in making sure that they know who they are, making sure they're in touch with the internal dialogue that's going on in their head, because a lot of them use or started using or started getting high because of these emotions that they didn't know how to manage.
And, I think that's good that if it's 6 months to a year, each person stay, by that time they're working, so they come back to you, to the transitional home. So in this way, not only are they paying for their stay, but they're also learning how to be financially independent, but also how to stand up on their own. So when they leave, they are actually ready to go on out and go right back into society and have their own, and to really fully function. It makes sense. It makes perfect sense. And also how to deal with their urges, like when they're having a bad day. So that makes perfect sense. I see that.
So, Miss Michelle, during this pandemic, there's been a lot of people staying home. A lot of people lost their jobs. Have you noticed that you have had more young ladies coming in during the pandemic, or have you noticed a change in the opioid use from your perspective, from what you actually see from day to day?
Well, right now during the pandemic, Why Not Prosper kept its doors open. We know that we had a lot of women initially in the first part of the pandemic, maybe the first quarter, which was February, March, and April. We had a lot of women coming in because the jails had to empty themselves out, right? And so we caught all of them women coming off of State Road. Now that the pandemic is, kind of subsiding, women do not like to come to treatment. It's a heavy lift for women to go to treatment because they have a lot of guilt and shame they're holding holding around their children, around, their life. And so they don't, the women are not in recovery like they could be, or, I don't like to say should, that's a judgment. Right. But the women, they got a lot of live. They got to deal with their recovery, their trauma, and stay clean and stay out of jail. So your question was, during the pandemic, did I see some shifts? Absolutely. A lot of people, mental health declined during the pandemic. Why not prosper, stay open? We tried to meet the ladies where they were. So if they were getting agitated, we got some bikes and we rolled down East River Drive. That's what we did. We put some flowers out. We had our little barbecue in the back. So I always try to act like, if this is my house, if this is my family, what would I want to do to keep my family safe and happy and harmonious during the pandemic? And those are the things I incorporated at Why Not Prosper for the ladies.
Absolutely.
So you do have a mental health component, correct? Do you have a therapist like via Zoom or
So every woman in Why Not Prosper, they're required to do a couple things. One is they have to pay their fee to be there. Two, they have to stay in treatment. A lot of people think they could just come into treatment and just lay down, but not at Why Not Prosper. Everybody is up every day. They're out. We support them to get a job, and we support them. One thing, they have to be in treatment. Some women have been there longer, like 3 years. And even if they've been there 3 years and they got a job, they still have to have treatment on their agenda, right? Because for this population, the disease of addiction is cunning, baffling, and powerful, and it's insidious. So we have to kind of like stay on top of it. And our motto is just to oh my goodness, somebody calling. But the bottom line, my deal is to, if I don't have the in-house service of mental health, we partner with it. And I think your question, do it absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so from my personal experience with my daughter, which I wanted, like I said, I thank Miss Michelle for so much for helping my daughter, because I see such a change in my daughter. Like, she got her first real job.
Awesome.
And my daughter is 32 years old. Well, she'll be 32 in May, and this is like her first real job, you know? And she was so proud of herself that she got that job, and when she got her first paycheck, like, she was so happy, you know what I mean? And I can just see that Why Not Prosper is really working for Naja, you know what I mean? And the thing I like about Why Not Prosper is, to me, the program is in the inner city. If you wanted to walk out that door and go get high, you can leave out that door and go get high at any moment. And I think for me, that is a testament to the people who come into their program. And with my daughter, I know that this is not her first go around with trying to get clean. She's been in and out of, the penitentiary. She did time upstate for 5 years. She's been in and out, and this is not her first time trying to get clean. But to me, I think that this is her most sincere time. Because she has had opportunities where she could have went out and got high. And she didn't. And she loves her job. And she's so proud of herself. And that makes me happy for her, because she's been battling with addiction since she was about 16 years old. Wow. And, I don't want to tell her story, because I'm going to have her come on, and she's going to come on and talk about where she is now, how Why Not Prosper has helped her, and, what caused her to go into her addiction. But, to me, like I said, the opioid pandemic is so close to my heart, because I had a daughter that was murdered from a person who was an opioid user. And in his addiction, when he couldn't get high, he took his anger and his hostility out on my 10-month-old daughter, and I lost my daughter, to that effect. And I won't always use drugs as an excuse, but in my heart, I believe that it played a big part of it, because he had been around my children before. So, so it's always it was always a touchy subject for me, because I felt like, even though I was never an opioid user and it never touched me, I feel like it kind of like went full circle, and being as though my daughter came right back, and all the things that she went through on her childhood, which she will talk to you about when she calls in, it came back full circle. Gotcha. With her using the opiates, you know what I'm saying, and her having her battle with the opiates, and and I just felt like it was an important subject for me to touch on because so much this year I have seen so many young people ODing from fentanyl overdoses. There's a lot of bad drugs out there. These young people think they're taking Xanaxes and Percocets, and then the whole time these are synthetically made. And my daughter has at least 2 or 3 I know girlfriends who have died from a fentanyl overdoses. And you know, I just prayed to God that I did not have to bury another daughter. Right. You know, that to me that was that's what my biggest fear. You know, my daughter overdosing and me having to put my other daughter in the ground. You know, and to me, even though opioids wasn't the cause of my first daughter's death, it seemed like it would be connected to me. You understand? And it was so powerful me, and I never gave up hope on my daughter. You know, I don't care what she was out there doing in the street. I don't care how many times she got locked up. You know, some people was like, you know, you just gotta. That's my daughter. Right. And I can't just let my daughter just die out on the street. That's you know, I'm not going. I'm not going to. If I can help my daughter, I'm going to help her, no matter how much it is, no matter what I got to do. That's right. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's my daughter. I birthed her, and I need her here to keep me sane. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to keep it real. I'm just going to keep it real, you know? So, and for herself, and she has children. But as a mother who's lost a child, you never want to have to do that again. You never want to have to go through that pain again. You never want to have to say, now I lost my child, you know, and I have to bury my daughter, and my daughter has children, and her daughter, I don't want to have to tell her children that their mother is not here because of an opioid or because of a drug, you know, something that I feel like if you want to recover, you can recover. And I'm not a drug user, but I know so many people in my family who have 18 years clean, 20 years clean. If you want to recover, you can recover. But I also know that it takes more than just talk. It takes work. It takes support from your family, your friends. It takes cutting off people, letting people go who you've been around your whole life, people that don't mean you no good. People see you trying to get clean. They like, you only doing that for this week. You know, you have to make an honest decision to change. And that's when you want to get clean. The decision. You have to make you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. And I commend, like I said, programs like Why Not Prosper, because Miss Michelle is out here on the front lines. Like, she could have did anything. She could have got clean and stayed in Los Angeles, but she didn't. She came back home. She took the vision that she had, and she decided to use that vision to go out there and help someone else that may have been in her position. And for that, I commend her.
I say thank you. Thank you on behalf of everybody, Khadijah and myself. We say thank you for the valuable work that you're doing. You're needed. And we pray that you have another 50 years of success.
Absolutely.
50 years that the Lord continue to bless your work, for what you need. Now, let me ask you this. Are you aware, is there a program like yours that handles the men?
I was mentored by a program called Liberty Ministries, which is in Swanksville. The difference with Liberty and Why Not Prosper, Liberty's for men, but it's faith-based and it's Christian-based. Okay. I don't know what all just target formerly incarcerated people for men house, but Philly got 211 recovery houses. Okay. I would just say Liberty for now, for formerly incarcerated, but they do have their guidelines of Christian-based only. Okay.
Okay. So I just wanted to say to any of our listeners out there who have watched our show, Michelle, she does do this from the muscle. And like I said, she is not state funded. So if we have any listeners out there who would want to donate to Why Not Prosper, send something in to Miss Michelle, call her, ask her, does she need anything, any kind of resources? I would please suggest that you guys just reach out and help her. We need these programs in our neighborhood. It's very important. Like I said, the state wants you to be high before you can come in. And just because it's a state funded, you may not get the best care. And a program like Miss Michelle, where I actually spoke to Miss Michelle, I actually sat down with her and the women that work there, and they really care. And they told me when I brought my daughter in, there was a young lady sitting at the door, and she was like, she's going to be okay. And I was I might have looked kind of strong that day, but I was at my wit's end that day. I really was.
And rightfully so.
I really was. I didn't have nothing but the money that I gave you that day, Miss Michelle. Okay. But I just knew that I didn't want my daughter to go back. I didn't want her to slide back, So like I said, I appreciate Miss Michelle. I appreciate Why Not Prosper. And I appreciate all the programs that are out there helping our people. And to any of our listeners who think that this is something that they may want to do, we need 100 more Miss Michelle.
Yes.
If this is something that you feel like you want to do, if there's something that you're passionate about, why don't you call Michelle? Miss Michelle. Someone mentor her, maybe she can mentor you. But this is what we need. This is what we need in our community.
Quick question: how many women do you house? How many are at your transitional home now? How many do you hold?
Yeah. We have 3 locations, and if all the beds are filled, it would be 25 women. And we actually have something on the table now where we're looking to maybe get a building with 144 beds.
Oh, wow.
We're dialogue right now. If anybody want to support or help, the website is Why Not Prosper. That's www.why-not-prosper.org. I will invite people to go on there. It's so much on there. We got a Why Not Prosper app. Anybody need any resources in the city, they could download the app on their phone. We have a hotline for people coming home. If you don't know what to do or where to go, call a hotline. Somebody answer that 24 hours a day. We about to have a round table for women like this that want to start their own business on April 13th. That flyer is on the website. We have an Inspire magazine. So if you do something for the community and you want it in our Inspire magazine, that's on the website. If you want to volunteer, it's the application on the website. Okay. If you have somebody in your house that's struggling with substance use disorder, you could call me. That is on the website. Wow. So please, please. Right, even if you don't need it now, you might need it later. Take a peruse around the website.
Okay.
So you heard that straight from Miss Michelle. Please contact Miss Michelle at Why Not Prosper. Miss Michelle, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. And Toucan, we can go to a break.
Amen. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What she represent?
I'm a prisoner, Gary.
Your fake followers, that's not the move. But from the solid type, I'm approved. That's for who I'm comfortable. What I got to prove. Zach tried to warn me. Most were not before me. Won't like it or post a comment, but they watch his story. Might be yanking sleep, but they eyes beyond me. Won't believe till I'm on that podcast with Nori. Or Flag TV, next to Alexander BP. Envy ran me like See the God and Angela Yee. And got a nerve to tell me keep working. Like I don't know, they hope I fool, keep lurking. Creating my own wave, keep surfing. Spitting pain is a layup like G. Gervin. Big play for lyricism returning. So many accolades, P earned them. I came to set it, tell them.
We there? Is the phone out here for the Glock line?
Oh, I'm sorry. The phone is ringing. We were just trying to figure out what that noise was.
Nadia, are you on?
Hello?
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 Thanks for patiently waiting. We got you guys. We have my daughter, Nadia. She's calling in, and we want to have her come on, and she's going to talk a little bit about her experiences. And we're only going to have her on till about 6. We're gonna go off the air about 6:55 so that we can get ready for the next podcast. Nadia, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, how you doing today, daughter?
Hi, guys.
So
I'm good.
You're good. So we're having you on the show. We just had Miss Michelle on, and she just talked a little bit about Why Not Prosper and the program there. Why don't you tell us a little bit about how long you were using and how you're doing now?
I've been using since I was 16. I started off using Xanax, and by the time I turned 18, I started using Percocet. And It's been a long time since I lived a clean and sober life. So right now, that is what I'm doing. I'm clean and I'm happy.
Okay,
So
so
happy.
so tell the audience, how long have you been clean?
I've been clean for 4 months now. It'll be 5
Congratulations.
in April.
Yes,
Yes.
congratulations. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You don't have to go into that in depth with how your substance abuse started, but do you want to talk a little bit about how it started, what you experienced, and what the advice that you would give that the young women now that are out there using the opioids and taking different pills?
When I was younger, I went through a lot of trauma in my life. Starting off with witnessing the murder of my 10-month-old sister. I was 5 years old when it happened, and I always felt like I could have did more to protect her for some reason. And I beat myself up about that a lot. And it was really hard on me. And, I've been molested, by a family friend that I thought was there to protect me and my brother. And, it just, all those things like really just stuck in my head. And I didn't tell my mom about me being molested until I was 16 years old. I had it for that long, and it made me angry, and I had a lot of rage built up inside of me. And it was only way to release those things was to become violent within myself. So I think that plays a major part in me using drugs. I'm not even going to say I think. I know that played a major part in me using, trying to cover up all the hurt and the pain that I've been through and that I've witnessed. The advice that I would want to give to young people and just people, period, drugs fucked me up bad. Excuse my French, I apologize. It really messed my life up. Like, I went to jail over using drugs, writing people checks out and taking people credit cards and just doing things that would put me in prison, leaving my children, and that killed me the most. Me being incarcerated and being away from my kids, I just felt less as a mother and like messed up about it. Like, how can I let these drugs control me so bad that it takes me away from my children, And it got worse the more that I used. I went and overdosed 5 times, like so close to death, And if it wasn't for people being around me, who knows if I would be here right now to have the chance to be clean. So I really appreciate those people who were there for me, my mother and my sister and, a friend of mine who helped me bring me back into consciousness. So, yeah.
Well, I didn't want to hold you long, but I just wanted to, congratulate you as your mother because I'm your biggest fan and I'm always going to be there to cheer you on. But I just wanted you to know that I'm proud of you and that I do, have faith that you will stay clean. And, I just want to thank you.
I just want to honestly say, this is the first time I ever felt like I was completely done with using drugs. Like, before when I was at programs and, trying to get clean, I always knew that I was going to go back out and use. But right now, at the stage that I am in my life, like, I really sincerely feel that I am done with using drugs.
Well, I just want to say thank you. Go ahead.
And I was saying I'm grateful for that.
Well, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show. And I want to thank you for sharing your story on the platform. And I want to thank you for, just sticking it in there because your children are watching and they are so proud of you and they are so happy to see their mom clean. And I'm so happy to see you clean. And I really appreciate you coming on the show. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Nadja.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you. And I love you, Mom.
I love you.
If it wasn't for you, we already know I would be so lost and so gone. But I appreciate you always being there for me and having my back and believing in me. and not giving up on me.
I never give up on you. I love you. Talk to you soon.
I love you, too.
So that was my daughter, and that was her story. And it's been a long road for all of us. It's been a long road for all of us. But I want to say, thank you to all my WillPower followers. I don't want to get all emotional.
Rightfully, it's been a road.
You know, when I say willpower, I want to say that this is not a cliche.
Right.
Everything that this willpower represents, from my father painting the picture, from all the things that I've been through in my life, you know, holding my family down, taking care of my children, taking care of my family, taking care of my father until his death. This does not go in vain. This means something. You have to have that strength and that willpower to get you through these days when there are so many days. Because even though I didn't use drugs, there were so many days I didn't think I was going to make it to the next day because I didn't want to. And I'm going to be honest with you, you know. But I just knew that it was something in me that I was supposed to be here, and I was supposed to share something with someone, and I was supposed to help something, because I just knew that the type of person that I was, that I just know that God didn't do, all of this wasn't in vain.
That's right.
All of this wasn't in vain.
That's right.
So I just want to say to all those people out there who are going through something, who are struggling, have some willpower. Pull it out of you when you have nothing left. You still have it. You always have something. I don't care if it's the smallest thread. Grab on it. Grab hold onto it. Have faith that things will go your way. And believe me, things will go your way. They absolutely will. Things will change for you. It begins with your mindset. If you believe in your heart that you want something different, that you want to do something great, and that there's something out there for you, it will be out there for you. You have to go get it. Forget what anybody says. Forget the name. I had people say, "Oh, now you want to start a podcast." Everybody want to start a podcast. You know how people is a motherfucker. They would kill your dreams soon. To hell with them. I don't care if only one person watched this podcast. I got up and did this for me.
That's right.
I did this for me. And I just asked that everybody join in what I was doing. You know, it wasn't about the naysayers, because you always going, and it's always the ones who ain't doing shit.
They ain't doing nothing.
It's the ones who ain't doing shit. They got something to say. It's always them.
Too afraid.
And they want to put their fears on you, because they never did nothing. They never had the power or the strength to go out there and do nothing for themselves or no one else. So they'll be quick to tell you not to do something. What I want to tell you is, I don't give a damn what it is. If you feel like you got something in you that you need to get out, even if only one person supports you, even if only you support you, get out there and do it. You will feel so much better.
And as we often say, we want you to die empty. Whatever's in you, to get it out. And in the words of Dave Miller, you keep throwing things against the wall, and eventually one of them is going to stick.
Something going to stick.
Something is going to stick. So whatever is in you, get it out of you, no matter what. Nix the naysayers. Do what you have to do. Unleash your creativity. Unleash your productivity. Come on here. There's so many things that you can do. You can do something. Again, as we often said, if you're a poet, we open up the platform to you to do your poetry. If you cook, if you're a chef, we open the platform up for you to come and share your expertise, share your food with us. What we got coming?
We want to eat.
We want to eat, but it's conditional. Be safe, serve, certified. Okay?
Get them hands clean too. Get them clean.
If you make clothing, come on, bring us a T-shirt. The weather is changing.
We like clothes.
So she has a WillPower hoodie. I have this hoodie on. It's called. It's by this guy named Fatty Bear, Thad, and it says, "I love his beard." Everybody knows.
Like his beard. I love me a nice beard.
Love a child. He got a beard and he got a little salt
yes,
pepper in
honey.
there. Girl, what you say?
Yes, I got me a little salt and pepper beard at home, my damn self.
Girl, that beard drives me crazy. I'm like, oh God, don't cut it now. Don't cut it. And I get upset when you cut it.
Yeah, I don't like that little baby face. I like that little rough stuff. Let me know a bit.
Because I like to play it. That's my therapy.
Right.
That's my therapy.
Make you feel good. But we were like the thing. And me and doing it's crazy. We had y'all on here laughing all night.
Again, the thing is to get it out. So we support our people. We put our, as I've often said, we put our money where mouth is. So here it is. We support black business. You know, you support WillPower. I supported Thad. Thad did my other hoodie. It's the beard for me or whatever with the guy.
Oh yeah.
And then he also did the one with the hands where it's my eyes are up here on the t-shirt. So I like the I like
that other.
But I don't like
the beard for me too.
Yeah, it's the beard for me. But
I don't like
I didn't like the my eyes are up here. I didn't like that shirt because I didn't like the design on it. But anyway, again, so he got this out. This is his, he's Fatty Bear. He's a big guy, so he called himself Fatty Bear. So and he don't even have a beard.
See?
And I met him
but
on
he
Twitter.
knew what to capitalize on, right?
That's one of my Twitter followers. So I saw his line and I was like, I'm going to support him. And that's what I did. So you got something you want us to support, you want us to put out here, send it to us. And if you need us to buy it, we'll buy it. It's no big deal. But if we bring you on, you got to come with 2 t-shirts. Okay?
You got to come with 2.
You got to come with 2 t-shirts.
And bring me a small because I'm about to lose some weight. And we about to get up out of here because we got DJ Boo Fuji's coming next.
I just bought an intimate stick fudge chocolate cake at the store. I just bought it, okay? I have 1 pint of ice cream left. I had one last night. So after this, I said, okay, I'm not going to buy any more ice cream, but I do need to go to the market. But you know, but you know, I got to lose this weight. I gotta get back to, as my nephew called me, skinny fat. You know, I got to get back to skinny fat instead of slim thick. I got to get back there. I got to lose this 40 pounds.
We got to go. But we gonna turn this over to DJ Fuji and that girl from South Philly.
Thank y'all
and
for
we like to
watching.
thank you guys for tuning in.